For this particular problem, we can solve it in any method we would like. I noticed that this particular equation is in standard form, and this one is not. And this one would be really easy to solve for our x term by multiplying by -4 in order to make this fraction turn into the number 1. So we're going to use substitution and solve for x in this equation by multiplying this equation by -4. Distributing across, -4 times the -1/4 x is 1x, and that's going to equal -4 times 3/2 x is going to end up being -6y. Now that we know what x is, we can take that expression that x equals and go up to our other equation and replace the x with it. That gives us 2/3 times -6y minus 1/6y equals 25/12. Here, if we simplify, we find that 2/3 times -6 is -4y. You can do that multiplication off to the side if you need to. And from that, we subtract 1/6y, which equals 25/12. Now I notice that I would love to get rid of my fractions if I could. It'll make it much easier. If I multiply everything by 12, since that's the common denominator, our fractions will go away. So we'll multiply everything by 12. 12 times -4y is -48y. 12 times -1/6y is -2y. And that equals 12 times 25/12, which is 25. Combining our like terms, we get -50y equals 25. And then finally, to isolate our y, we'll divide by -50. And if we reduce this, we find out y is -1/2. Since we know y is -1/2, we still need to find our x. If we take this 1/2 and replace it into this equation right here, we can find our x term. So x will equal the -6 times the y we just came up with, which is -1/2. So x ends up being 3. So now that x is 3 and y is -1/2, the point where these two lines cross is at 3, -1/2.